Welcome to Fox in Depth. Once again, I'm John Scott. We're discussing the strike of the 185,000 UPS employees. With us from Washington, Fox News correspondent Steve Centani and attorney Jim Thomas. Mr. Thomas, the wages that are being paid to full-time UPS drivers, at least $20 an hour or so, hardly sounds like starvation wages, the kind of thing that should dictate a strike. What are they going out for?
Well, the reality is that even though the full-time wages look very attractive, in fact, UPS only created 200 full-time jobs all last year. 85% of all new jobs at UPS are part-time. So to look at the full-time wage scale is really not an accurate reflection of what UPS is really paying its workers. Many of its part-time people are working double and triple shifts, 8 and 12 hours a day, instead of full-time work.
Well, you heard Bob Godlewski, the UPS spokesman, say just a minute ago that a number of these people like to have 3-4 hours a day extra when they can put in the time. You're saying that they are overworking the part-time employees?
It seems that by paying them part-time wages, by keeping them in a part-time classification, historically at UPS, when you entered as a part-timer, you would eventually become a full-timer. That is not the case now, and many of the workers are saying that by forcing them to work longer hours, that UPS can avoid paying regular full-time wages and can avoid health and pension benefits.
How do these benefits packages, wage and benefits packages, how do they compare with UPS competitors like, say, Federal Express?
UPS is clearly the highest paying organization in the industry. It has, and it also has 80% of the share of the industry.
And so with the strike underway now, it was expressed last week when there was a possibility of the strike that UPS could wait this out perhaps longer than the union can because UPS is sitting on a lot of cash. The union strike fund is bankrupt. Would you agree?
Well, that certainly is one of the primary factors in favor of UPS at this point. This is a key industry, and it's one that the union really can influence very strongly by virtue of this strike because UPS is such a prominent player. However, one has to think that there won't be too much public sympathy after a couple of weeks of not getting your fresh lobsters and your pharmaceuticals and blood supplies delivered to hospitals. Right now, I think the union's figuring it'll take about $10 million a week in strike funds, and I think based on the last numbers I saw, the union might have $20 million totally available for this, so 2 weeks at the max.
Steve Centani, what about the effect of this strike on the national economy?
Well, it could have a ripple effect, yes, as people are finding they can't get their parcels delivered nationwide all around the world. It could have a big impact because these other companies, FedEx, the post office, are not really geared up to handle all the extra burden they're going to accept now that these 12 million parcels a day that UPS normally handles are being sloughed off on the other competitors. So they're adding staff. They're trying to gear up for it, but it's going to be difficult. And of course, the pilots have gone out in sympathy, so UPS cannot operate some of their planes. It could have a ripple effect on the entire economy if it goes on long enough, and we'll have to wait and see. Right now, no new talks are scheduled, so it's a stalemate.
Real quickly, Jim Thomas, are you or anybody else predicting how long this could go?
Well, I think there's a danger that what should probably be a little skirmish might turn into a Gettysburg kind of an event, you know, kind of a seminal labor contract. This is the biggest contract up for negotiation this year, and Ron Carey is looking for an opportunity perhaps to show some strength to his membership. It could go on quite a while.
All right, Jim Thomas in Washington, Steve Centani, thank you very much. We will continue to update our viewers on this story as it continues.